Coming up on this episode of Falmouth in Focus, a local river begins a highly anticipated restoration project. State Representative Dylan Fernandez gives his first ever speech on the House floor, and we give a wrap-up of Falmouth's fall town meeting. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. We start this episode at the Kuna River, where after more than a decade of planning, ground was finally broken and the process to restore the river to its former glory began. FCTV spoke to those involved with the project who gave insight into the multi-organizational push to see it come to fruition.
The Kuna is important for a number of reasons. It's important because of the fishes that live here. And one of the things that the river restoration will do, we have three major goals. One is to improve habitat for these fishes, and the NOAA is interested in commercially important fishes, and so they're interested in the herring, because herring tie freshwater to saltwater systems, and also provide, for those of you who like striped bass fishing, provide food for not only striped bass, but many of the fishes in the marine system. The National Fish and Wildlife Federation, on the other hand, they have a goal of the trout fishing. And one of the things that this restoration will do is it will tie the river more closely to its cold water springs.
When those dams were put into place, the natural effects of herring and other species were stopped. We will be back here in just a period, it'll amaze you all, just a period of months when this hits the stage, and we will see the herring flowing. I've seen it before. It's amazing what will be unleashed. This is truly smart money. Yes, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that came from the federal government, the state government, nonprofits, locals, all working together. But it's a smart use of that money. It's cost effective, because what we're doing with this project is we're letting nature heal itself. This is truly holistic in nature.
And just when you look at the group of people that are involved, you get the Town of Falmouth, the Kuna River Trust, the 300 Committee, Falmouth Rod and Gun Club, Falmouth Community Preservation, the Botanical Club of Cape Cod and the Islands, the Association to Preserve Cape Cod, the Mass Division of Ecological Restoration, Marine Fisheries and Wildlife, Mass Environmental Trust, NOAA Restoration Center, the Fish American Foundation, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and of course the engineer Interfluve. This is just a great group of people, and it doesn't happen individually by any one of them, but when we all get together, it is amazing what we can do.
There's just so many great memories here as a young kid, walking the bogs, learning about the herring run. And this project for the town really is all about sustainability and habitat sustainability. And on the Atlantic, we've seen over 90% decline in herring. Over 90%. Some places have seen a 99% decline in herring. And a large part of that is because of the dams that were constructed over the years to block the herring. And it's great to see that the town of Falmouth is removing dams, allowing for this habitat to foster and grow.
And so from my office, as we support the various stages of this project, for me it's to go back to a sense of the land. It's to go back to a sense of yesterday, so that our children and our grandchildren will be able to wake up in the morning on a spring day, hear the gulls crying, and come down and watch the annual rite of spring.
The restoration is expected to be complete sometime in 2019. Thanks to Bob Fenstermaker for that coverage. Each month, FCTV hosts a new artist in our Meza gallery. November brings the art of Robin Pearson, who works with resin to create decorative window and mirror art. In this edition of This Month at the Meza, Robin talks about her creative process and leaving her corporate life behind to pursue her new passion.
Hi everyone, my name's Robin Pearson. I'm an artist here on Cape Cod and my medium is mostly resin and some paint. I began working with resin in 2003 when I left my corporate job and decided to head out on my own and do something totally different. So I began experimenting with resin and designing what I call decorative window art. And that slowly but surely evolved into bigger and larger pieces. And now I'm really into designing custom mirrors. A lot of my work, I incorporate coastal charts. So if you are living in a particular part of Cape Cod, you can choose the chart within your location, and I'll incorporate that into the design with some of my other materials that you may bring to my shop. And also I'm doing furniture. What I'll do is a piece that I have in my shop today. I'll take a bare wood, say console table. I'll cut that up and give it a little more of a decorative feel. Then I'll add a mirror onto that, do my resin art onto the mirror, and then put a glass top over that. So it's functional, but it's beautiful at the same time. Okay, I get asked often, how did I get started in resin art? Well, actually it all happened by chance. I was working at a great company, Ocean Spray Cranberries, and I went through some very personal events in my life and decided to make the leap and find something else that really inspired me. So I left that job and just went out and figured it out that art and something creative was where I wanted to be. It's what really made me get out of bed in the morning. So I began, first of all, just rearranging people's furniture. And that was the time when one-day decorating was really hot. So I was traveling all over the Cape, redesigning people's homes, using exactly what they already have in their house. I added painting onto that. I would paint their rooms. And then I added faux painting. That became more of a job then. It was very physical. And so one day I just happened upon resin and I thought about pouring resin on a piece of glass. I was actually sitting at a bar in Key West, Florida, and the resin was on top of a bar, and I looked down and I thought how cool that would be if you could see through it. So I went home and started experimenting on windows, and that's how it all began. I was entered into an art show without my knowledge, and it took me 24 hours to get ready. I brought 12 windows down to the show and I sold 10 of them. That's when I knew this was really something that was going to work for me. And that's how it all began. And that was over 10 years ago.
Robin's artwork is up for viewing at the Meza until November 30th. Thanks to Tony Sedera for that story. Falmouth recently held its fall town meeting. Over the course of 2 days, delegates and officials charted the course for the future of the town, and in this next segment, we take a look at 5 articles that were discussed.
At the annual town meeting last week, members debated and voted on 29 articles, including one article for the special town meeting Monday night. Among these were Articles 11 and 12 dealing with rules, regulations, and enforcement of beach activities. Petitioners who argued for the article looked to amend Chapter 87 of the Town Code by adding restrictions on activity to the subsection Activities Affecting Others and Shading Devices. The article failed by a voice vote on Monday night. On Tuesday night, town meeting members heard Article 12, which also dealt with beach regulations. This article gave selectmen the authority to adopt reasonable beach regulations with the input from the Beach Committee and Beach Department. The article also states that the selectmen will hear from the public before deciding on any regulation modifications. By a margin of 133 for and 66 against, the bylaw for Article 12 passed.
This just affirms that when the Beach Committee makes a decision, they'll send it to the selectmen, just like any other committee does, and we sign off if we agree. If it's something that we just can't agree with, then maybe we'll rethink it and ask them to, reconsider.
Article 19 of town meeting was asking to reaffirm a vote taken in 2005, which stated a compromise in lower and middle bogs along the Kuna River be upheld to allow for cranberry cultivation. Town meeting members debated both sides of the article, citing the value of keeping a historical nature to the land in the area of the bogs and the benefits of restoring the Kuna River, while opponents argued the costs and conservation restrictions of the article. The article eventually failed with a roll call vote on town meeting floor.
Okay, the poll is closed. If we can return the results. 58 in favor, 138 opposed. The article does not pass.
Article 28, put forth by the Community Preservation Committee and Finance Committee on this year's fall annual town meeting warrant, asked members to allow the town to purchase land on Tony Andrews' farm. The article also addressed financing the purchase with $800,000 from the Community Preservation Fund and $575,000 from certified free cash.
This is a quote from Marina Andrews. "To my great-great-great-grandchild, I do hope I have many. I bequeath to you this beautiful town with its lush fields, beautiful trees, lovely streams and waterways. I hope 2076 will find it so." We ask that you vote yes on Article 28. We feel strongly that this purchase will be of value to the citizens of Falmouth.
After a majority vote in favor of this article, town meeting also adopted Article 29, authorizing the selectmen to enter into a lease for Tony Andrews' farm for no more than 20 years.
To watch both days of town meeting in their entirety or any other Falmouth government meetings, please visit fctv.org. Right now, we're going to take a quick break to learn about an adoptable cat from People for Cats. And when we come back, we hear from Massachusetts State Representative Dylan Fernandez. Stay with us.
Jingles is an 11-year-old who has the sparkle of a much younger cat. He's very handsome with thick, dark gray fur and bright green eyes. He was surrendered because his owner had to move to an apartment that would not take pets. Jingles is very friendly, sociable. He's also a talker. He really shows his sweet side and likes to snuggle. Jingles has all his shots, has been neutered, and has always been an indoor kitty. His lucky new owner will get an affectionate and caring kitty. Jingles would prefer to be an only cat so that he can have all your attention to himself. In return, he would make a great companion. Why not come in and meet this handsome senior? Additionally, the adoption fee for a senior like Jingles is less than half our normal fee. If you'd like to learn more about Jingles, please call 508-540-5654, visit peopleforcats.org, or come in during adoption hours.
Welcome back. Many Americans hold negative connotations with the word hospice, but the Visiting Nurse Association of Cape Cod hopes to change those thoughts with this edition of Health Highlights.
When I first heard the word hospice, I said, I don't think I want that.
We do a lot of teaching with patients and families about what hospice means.
I would say it took probably 3 months for my mom to feel comfortable with the concept of hospice.
I think a lot of people feel like, you know, if you get admitted to a hospice program, it means you're actively dying and you have days or weeks to live. And what we know is that that's not always true.
There's this nurse at the hospital. She came into the room and she says, "Are you going for hospice?" And I said, "I don't know. I really don't think so." And she said, "Yes, you do. You want that." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because it'll give you time with your husband."
If I had to say one thing about hospice that I think people don't understand is that it is not for the last hours of living, or only for the last hours of living. It's certainly that, but it's so much more than that. It's for the last perhaps many months.
Being a hospice was really became who I was able to lean on, where before it was just me running in circles, not knowing what I was going to be doing.
Since being elected, Falmouth State Representative Dylan Fernandez gave his first speech to the Massachusetts House of Representatives on November 1st.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your leadership, and through you to the members. It's an honor to stand before you today as a representative from Falmouth, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and Cuttyhunk. I want to personally thank the residents of my district for sending me here to advocate for them, and I'm truly humbled to have their support. My district is a really unique one in this Commonwealth because it spans 3 counties, 9 towns, 2 sounds. And when I came here, one of my first memories was sitting down next to a gentleman from Western Mass who was talking to me about the challenges of traveling his district and how it takes over 2.5 hours to make it across his district. But when I told him it takes me 2.5 days to travel mine, he's quieted down ever since about that, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fernandez talked about a wide range of issues, such as income inequality on the Cape, growing up to be the first in his family to earn a college degree, and the opioid epidemic.
Lack of affordable housing is driving young people, working families, and seniors out of our district. In fact, the average home price on Nantucket today is over $2 million. We have an opioid epidemic that's ravaging our local communities, and 12 parents of children have died from an opiate overdose in the last 3 years at only one of our elementary schools, and we have 4 of them.
Representative Fernandez also spoke on his House 3994 bill to keep Massachusetts in accordance with the guidelines of the Paris Climate Agreement.
I filed this bill back in January in anticipation of President Trump pulling out of the agreement, and by withdrawing, America will join Syria as the only nation in the world not signed on to the Paris Agreement. And Massachusetts has long led the nation on climate action, and we know that advancing clean energy is not only good for our environment, it's good for our economy. We've seen this in my district as deepwater offshore wind 13 miles south of the vineyard in Nantucket brings investment and brings resources and jobs to our state. And Massachusetts ranks 35th, or ranks second in the nation in solar jobs, despite ranking 35th in the nation in sunshine. And frankly, Mr. Speaker, I don't think I've seen the sun once this week. So we're doing great on the jobs piece, and Massachusetts does not produce coal or oil or natural gas. So the more renewable energy we produce in our state, the more we invest in our own energy economy.
The bill passed with a vote of 145 to 10. Thanks to the Massachusetts House of Representatives for generously providing us with that footage. Hurricane Maria was one of the worst natural disasters in recent years and especially impacted the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. There have been many national and local relief efforts in response, one of which was Safe Plates. The event was presented by Falmouth Eatery's Buffalo Jump and the Pecco Dirt Bakery and co-sponsored by No Place for Hate Falmouth, Engage Falmouth, Falmouth Jewish Congregation, and Wacoit Congregational Church.
Hi, I'm Nell Fields. I'm the minister of the Wacoit Congregational Church, and this is Safe Plates, a dinner to benefit our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. As you can see, once again, we have quite a crowd. We have delicious food. It's for a great cause. And one of the reasons why we love doing this, not only to help people, but it's so wonderful bringing community together. We have people from Sandwich, from Marston's Mills, from all over the great town of Falmouth.
Tonight we're here to support Puerto Rico and the recent hurricanes they've had and all the devastation and damage. And the goal is to raise lots of money and be able to help out as much as we can as a community far away in Massachusetts.
And I'm from Puerto Rico, and I'm very happy, very grateful for all the help that you guys have been doing for my family. My family is here. My mother, Leslie, my 2 brothers, Kevin and Antonio. And it has been very challenging weeks, but with the support of the people from Falmouth has been very easy. And I just want to say thank you to everybody to support our family and our island, Puerto Rico. Gracias.
Initially, back in March, my mother and I wanted to create Safe Plates, and we spoke with Nell here at Wacoit Congregational Church to do something for the community and bring everyone together in a time of feeling a little despair and wanted to get together. So we're here tonight creating another one of those events to bring the community together and reach out for one another.
I just want to say thank you so much to support my family and support Puerto Rico. We still need help to keep helping people down there. My family was the guinea pig, yeah, right. So, but no, just kidding. No. So they're here. Like, there is a lot of resources. So we need to keep helping Puerto Rico. Please support this event and also future activities. This is a long-term goal that we have to support the island.
So we're going to be doing this event once a year. We're very excited to be doing it about a important benefit for Puerto Rico.
Thanks to Tony Sedera for that coverage. It's time now for My Fishing Cape Cod. This month focuses on catching the last striped bass of the season, as well as good trout fishing now that cold weather has begun to set in.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Falmouth Fishing Report for the month of November. My Fishing Cape Cod founder and creator Ryan Collins will take things away for you this week.
All right, happy November everybody. There are still plenty of schoolie stripers here on Cape Cod. It's as simple as just going around from beach to beach with the binoculars looking for the birds. Today I'm tossing Joe Baggs Albie Chaser. Now this lure is originally intended for albies, but it works great for schoolie stripers. And it just has one nice single hook, which makes releasing these small fish a piece of cake. And especially today, it's 38 degrees out. So the easier to unhook the fish, the better, because my hands are already freezing up on me.
The final fish of the striper season often cruise right along Falmouth shorelines on their journey south.
There we go. Not bad for November. What a nice morning. Got here a little striper, I would think. Yeah. This little fish. It's actually bigger than I expected. On the Joe Baggs Albie Chaser. Not too bad.
Many anglers turn their attention to freshwater this time of year. As the weather continues to cool, the trout bite really heats up. There are many ponds near Falmouth that are stocked with trout. All you need to do is go down to one with a spinner or spoon and get on the action. A Shumet pond would be a great place to start your quest for some of these cold water fish.
Absolutely gorgeous fish. There he goes. This is a good one.
If the trout pond you're fishing has clear water and a sandy bottom, simply fishing worms on the bottom is an excellent way to connect with rainbow trout.
Oh, there's a whole school of them. Wow. Not seen that before. This is a nice fat bow.
This is Andrew Burke of MyFishingCapeCod.com signing off.
Thanks to Andrew Burke and Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod for that submission. We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, we'll learn about a vocational program at Falmouth High. Please stay with us.
On November 28th, Falmouth Community Television will be participating in the 6th annual Giving Tuesday, a global day of giving fueled by the power of social media and collaboration. This year, we hope you'll consider making a donation to Falmouth Community Television. Falmouth Community Television is a nonprofit 501c3 public charity and the source for hyperlocal information within the Falmouth community. Since 1992, FCTV has grown into a full-service community media center, providing a broad range of services such as equipment, training, and facilities. FCTV is now planning a facility expansion that will provide Falmouth with the state-of-the-art community resource it needs. This project will allow us to increase the space of our studios, art gallery, community meeting rooms, teaching labs, and post-production facilities, providing the people of Falmouth with more room and resources to educate and express themselves, as well as participate in the dialogue that makes up the vibrant fabric of our community. We're inviting you to be a vital part of our growth by participating in this year's Giving Tuesday. By supporting FCTV, your hard-earned dollars remain local right here in Falmouth. You can donate to FCTV online via the PayPal link on our website or Facebook. We thank you for considering Falmouth Community Television on this Giving Tuesday. Join us as we look to the future.
Welcome back. When choosing courses, students at Falmouth High School are given the option to take vocational classes. In this next piece, we take a look at early childhood education, one of the classes offered by the vocation program.
The Early Child Care Program is a program taught by Nancy Fitzgerald where we come to the high school for our first class. We take child development where we learn about babies and young children. Then we move on to our second year, which is the preschool, where you get to come up with the lesson plans and teach the children hands-on. 4 days a week. Then you move on for your third year to the internship, where you can go to any elementary school in Falmouth, where you observe teachers and you get to teach the children in the classroom, and you get to develop a relationship with all the children, and you get to learn more about what it's like to be a teacher. And if you're going to pursue your career in teaching or something involving children, it really helps because you learn all there is to know about children and how to be a teacher. I didn't really expect to be in the classroom as much as we are in teaching the kids. I thought it was more just learning about them, and sometimes we would get to observe, but it's a lot more than that. You get to do a lot more than you expect, and you would think you just go in and just watch the teacher, but you get to teach the classroom. In my classroom, I get to go in and I can teach them math, and I can read them their English books and whatever they're doing.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that piece. Here at FCTV, we want you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the honor tree lighting ceremony at East Falmouth Elementary School. Thanks for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.